Okay, so here we are on this beautiful 93-degree scorcher of a day at around 1:24 p.m. on this beautiful Saturday in Queens, New York, and it's going to be a real hot one. So today's video brings us to another historical place in New York City, in Queens, in the borough of Queens. That's going to be Roosevelt Island. And as we approach the bridge for Roosevelt Island right now, it is a hot one. So today is the first time I'm going to be filming in 4K 60 frames per second. So I don't know how it's going to come out. It should be better than the other videos. It should be a little smoother. So let's see how that works out, and hopefully we get some better footage. So this is the bridge to Roosevelt Island. Now, from a historic point, Roosevelt Island's been around for quite a bit of time, as you'll see. And this island was once home to, which if we can get down there today, which I think we should be able to, it's home to one of the largest smallpox hospitals in the city during the smallpox epidemic. And once we get there, I'll definitely point that out to you. So Roosevelt Island, for those who don't know, it's a small little island off the coast of Manhattan and Queens. It sits right in between. And this is the Roosevelt Island Bridge, which rides parallel alongside to Queensbridge, also known, I think, as the Mario Bridge now, but originally the Queens Bridge, or the 59th Street Bridge was the famous names for it. So excuse me if I'm a little winded. Had a long ride from my residence to here in this heat, so I'll do my best to catch my breath as we tour the island. All right. So we're going to go towards island access. First order of business, you kind of come onto the island somewhat midway point over the bridge. We're going to head over to the north end of the island, I believe. This island has undergone many name changes, including at one point it used to be called Welfare Island. And now, like all things New York, the cost of this island and residences here in this island have probably skyrocketed due to its beautiful waterfront property, where there was not much years back. They now built it up quite a bit. As we travel on, take a look at some nice historic places here. So now, let's see what we got here. Looks like a nice little park over here. We'll come through that on the way back. The FDNY has their rescue operations station over here, as you can see on the right as I just passed it. And just look at this waterfront property. I mean, this is beautiful. Looks like a nice botanical garden. to the left. Kind of makes you feel like you're not in New York anymore, just like a lot of these places do. As you can look on the left-hand side, some great views of the water as I ride. And it looks like the temperature is going to be climbing up even higher today. We're about 93 degrees again, just to give a recap on that. So the conditions out here are, in fact, brutal. So the first area of interest I'm going to take you guys to used to be a insane asylum that actually burnt down and succumbed to fire about 2 times at the very least. And this particular spot now is a luxury apartments, I believe. See if I can get a better angle on that for you guys. Angle the camera up just a little bit higher. And that's now luxury apartments, from what I understand. But that used to be one of the very old insane asylums that was on this island, as well as some other hospitals. There was a lot of hospitals on this island, and there still is to my right. When we get there, I'll show you another hospital. It's quite large, in fact. But yeah, so that octagon building, I remember it was ruins, you know, 20, 30 years ago. And it was like that for a while. Every time I would come here, way back then, there's not much to see except the skeleton of a building, all kinds of like fire damage to it. So I'm glad that they actually rebuilt it and made something really nice. It's a very beautiful building, the architecture on it. So as we're coming to the northmost end of the island, and this is the northwest end of the island now, we crossed over on the west end. You can see the west, I'm sorry, not the west side, the Harlem River Drive. That's not the Harlem River Drive. Harlem Drive's way up there. This turns into the Harlem River Drive. That's the FDR Drive. That's what I meant to say. And you can see the hospital on the right of us right here. And we're going to take a little loop around there, get a nice look at that. It's quite a big facility for a small island. And Roosevelt Island is not a very big island at all. It's pretty small. But as you can see here, this is the facility. Let's see if I can get a name from the awning here. It's a rehab, yeah, it's a rehab and nursing care center. See, I thought it was a hospital, but it's more of like a nursing home. It might have been a hospital back years ago, and they changed it to a nursing and rehabilitation. It's been a while. All right, so let's take a little ride on the gravel and make it to our next area. Now we're back onto solid ground here. Nice pathway. As you can see, it's a very serene environment, very peaceful. Like a lot of these places I seek in the city, these little escapes that kind of make you feel like you're not in the city. And some of them overlook it, you know, but I mean, look at that view. That is something. Those rough waters. You can see those white caps down further out there. This is where a lot of bodies of water all meet, so the tide is very rough here, and a lot of people have drowned in these waters, very dangerous waters. So now we're entering Lighthouse Park on the island, which is a beautiful, beautiful little park that, in fact, yeah, has a very old lighthouse. And that lighthouse looks like it's been redone a few times. Definitely has since when I first started coming here. Looks like the top is all new glass now. I haven't seen that yet. But it does in fact work at night. And maybe that'll be another trip that we'll come down here for. They put these sculptures over here. It's a little sculpture park. So they've really done some work since the last time I've been here. And it is absolutely a beautiful day today. And out on the water here on this island, to get the cross breeze is nice. So here we go. Let's take a look at this sign and see what it says. Okay, so the lighthouse has been placed on the National Register of Historical Places in 1972 by the United States Department of the Interior. And that sign looks like it was put here in 2014. And this lighthouse is absolutely wonderful. I mean, just look at that. It's just absolutely beautiful. And as you can tell, that's a very old lighthouse. Let me take a look a little bit closer and see if we can get you a little closer there so we get some better shots of it. Take a little ride around it. I don't see any dates on it actually. There used to be a sign, I think, or a plaque, something that was inscribed here, but I don't see it anymore. Probably under the renovations they changed it. I know these lights that are in the floor here, I came here once at night, I know those no longer work. They used to be lit up from the bottom here, and there's water in them, so I think during some major storms that we've had some bad ones over the years. I think maybe even Sandy kind of flooded and damaged that wiring, and that's why they must have redone this. That's it. That's the lighthouse. Let's take another ride to the other end of the park. We have some more goodies for you. I'm sorry, not park. The other end of the island. We have some other goodies for you. And right now we should be the northmost tip of Roosevelt Island. I don't think you can't get any more north on the island than here. This is the very tip of the island. There's nothing left after this except water, as you can see. And that's the Ward's Island footbridge. Or Randall's Island, Ward's Island footbridge, because now they connected them. Let's head on. I think we're better off going. We'll go up this way and we'll cut through that little park maybe to get down to the other end of the island, where I got some more interesting historical places to see. Trying to play chicken with me on the road, but I don't want to harm him, so I move out of the way. He wins today. All right, now we'll take a ride up this end of the park that goes onto this eastern side of the island. Get some more views of, that's Queens on that side. That's actually a very industrial area part of Queens, which is now building up little by little. It's Long Island City area, where Astoria and Long Island City meet. I'll tell you, that breeze feels nice. This nice breeze off the water feels very nice. And if you're ever in this area where you have a bike, or even if you just want to visit it, you know, there's very, very accessible island. Even if you just want to walk the island, or you can rent a bike even. Very accessible island, very nice to explore. Usually known to be pretty quiet and serene. A little dog park there, look at that. They really are building this place up nicely. All right. So as I said before, we'll try to go through that little park that I found. I've never been through that before, so it's a new discovery. It might even be a new park, or I just never noticed it when I've come here. All right. We're passing that octagon building again. The Octagon. Name appropriate. Coney Field is the baseball fields. On the park. That's what it just said right there. This is like, looks like a botanical garden, like I said before. So you can get into that little, there's like a little bridge there. I wonder what that takes us to, because I really haven't been there before. Question is, where is it? Oh, I think it's up further. Yeah. We can go in here. Soccer field, beautiful. And there's that little bridge. It takes you up here. It's not really a bridge. That looks really nice. Looks like it's all new. So it's not really a bridge, it's like a walkway with a little scaffolding or some type of arty design. Keep on pushing forward. Not much to see in this section. There's a parking facility to the left. It looks like a couple of buildings that have been here for quite a bit of time on the right. They're not some of the newer, more elaborate ones, which we'll see. I believe the south end of the island is where they really built it up. They started to build some really big buildings. There used to be an abandoned hospital down there. And I believe that they tore that down. That's the area where they put those newer buildings. Facing a little bit of wind right now. That's where we got off the bridge. So before, when we made a right turn, we now made a left. We're headed towards the south end of the island. Waterfront apartments. I guess this is all new or redone. Now I bet you the rents over here have like quadrupled from what they were about 20 years ago. As all things in New York has quadrupled. But the cost of living for just normal people that just want to get by and not even live a luxurious lifestyle is hard. We have an old church, historical church on the right here. It's quite nice. I wonder if we can get to the other side of that. Looks like they have a little market going on. Let's take a ride around. You can see that other side of that church. Oh yeah. Never actually looked at the front of this church. But once again, it is Chapel of the Good Shepherd has been placed on the National Register of Historical Places in 1972 by the United States Department of the Interior. Look at that. So it looks like there's two entrances. View of this. Try and angle that up. Let's see the whole entire. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now we'll continue on. Camera, I think I gotta angle it down a little bit better. It's angled too high up. Get that back down there, like. Excellent. Okay. Sorry about that. Next secret that this island has to hold.
She's running around.
Now, let's put it into perspective. We've already seen three historical spots on this very tiny island. Now that brings us over here to this very historical home, one of the older historical homes, and definitely one of the oldest intact home on the island. This is the Blackwell House, which is also, I believe, the original owners. And this has also been placed on the National Register of Historic Places back in 1972. Beautiful old home. Get a little shot at the top there. That is something you would never know. Right here in Queens on Roosevelt Island. Let's see if we can take a ride around the back here. Now straight ahead, that building in front of us was, I believe, where the old hospital was. That's a new building, or a relatively newer building, I think. I could be wrong. It might be down a little further. Let's take another ride around the back of this house so we can see it a little bit better and in depth. This nice pathway here. You can see this once overlooked the water, overlooking towards Queens on one side and Manhattan on the other. A perfect spot. Beautiful. Try and get down here so I can get a nice shot of this when I come up this little hill. But just to show you, there's a playground here, and I'll come back up and around and we can really get a good shot. So you can see the 59th Street Bridge to the right, and I believe that's some type of I don't know what that is. Some type of construction plant, or maybe it's near the power plant. There's a power plant actually, yeah. Look at that. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this around, come back up this way so we can get a nicer view of that. great shot on the back of the old house. All right. No, that's not the only thing that we have left to see. There's still more, but wait, there's more. Yes, there is. And we're gonna keep on going south on the island. Now this is mostly the newer section, I believe. It was built up, newer buildings. So all to my left, I believe, is all new buildings, high-rises, luxury homes costing probably a lot more than most people can afford. Like all other things in New York. As you go closer to the 59th Street Bridge, you'll see there's a tram, the airway tram, and it actually, if you want to be brave and ride that tram, then you would actually get that tram from over here. And they're still building more. Still construction. They're gonna build more apartments. These right here are under construction right now. Then they're gonna make Roosevelt Island look like Manhattan, and they're gonna little by little destroy all this natural resources that are on here that makes people want to live here in the first place, just to pack them all in like sardines. But it's all about the almighty dollar, I guess. But there's the Roosevelt Island tramway. And that's the little tram that rides alongside the Queensboro Bridge. A couple years back it got stuck, and I've heard it's gotten stuck quite a bit of times. Not something I'd be willing to try. You have to be brave. It goes up on a little cable, and as you can tell, it looks very old. I don't know if I would necessarily trust it, but people do. Mostly tourists try to ride it because it's nice. Slow ride over the bridge where you can look at things. Actually, not really over the bridge, but alongside the bridge. All right, so now we are going to be riding right underneath that 59th Street Bridge. A whole completely new section of the island. All these buildings are all new, and they put new roads here too, because you used to not be able to get through from certain sides of the island. I'm not sure if the other side goes through. I don't think it does. I think this is, you have to make this kind of turn to come down here if you're coming from the other way. But almost gotten to the end of the island. This is the southernmost end now. We are on the southeast end of the island. As we make our way down to this end of the island, this would be the end of the island where the smallpox hospital was originally located, and they made this little park and they rebuilt it. For many years this was closed down, public couldn't get in it, it was all gated off, but now it's called South Point Park. see, it's completely renovated. They did a great job. And this particular old historical building here used to just be able to be seen from far back, way back where we were by the entrance of the park. And this is the Strecker Memorial Laboratory. So this is a old building, and this used to be a laboratory, I would imagine, if it says that. So that building there used to just be seen from way back where we were when we came in. And I'm really glad that that now you can enjoy this building and everybody can enjoy this. I don't know if they have any type of tours or anything that you can go in it, but it would be really nice. See stuff inside of there. Now I don't know if they're building something. It looks like a type of generators or something in there. I don't know if those generators are in there to be hidden to power this park. If they were originally in there. If I were to guess, that would probably be it. That they just used the shell of the building to redo it. But let's take a look, because I don't remember that building ever being. This is from the back, actually. I don't remember that building ever being much more than a skeleton of a building. So a lot of the glass work and the doors and windows might be all new glass and new additions to it. But there you go, right there. That's a good shot of the back of it. So everyone can see that. Now that's overlooking, I don't know if you can see in the background there, the 59th Street Bridge. And that's the Queen side. And you got a nice little park there that they've built up. We'll take another ride around it just so you can see the whole size of this. It's a pretty decent sized building. Now I wonder what its original purpose was. I haven't found much about it. I'll look up some stuff if I can find it. I'll post it. If anybody knows what it was originally used for, or has any more information on it, or whether or not there is some type of museum in there, or they'll be working on a museum, we don't know. Strecker Memorial Laboratory. Gotta look that up. If anybody knows anything more about it than what I know, other than it just being this very old historical building that was rotting away years ago, and looks like they kind of fixed it up inside, just let us know in the comments. Comment on the video, feel free. If you know about anything, any of these videos that I post up, if you know something that I haven't mentioned, or a little bit more that you can add to them, yeah, by all means. Go ahead. Oh look, Canadian geese grazing. Go ahead and feel free to post it up on the page. All right, now that gate's closed. Hopefully we can get in a little deeper. Oh wow, look at this. They have a lot of geese here living here in these little houses. Oh, that's cute. It says ducks and geese live here. Wow. All right, so here it is. This is the what was the ruins or remains of the, oh wow, now the geese are in there, of the smallpox hospital. And we're going to get a better view of that as I turn around. Look at that. I mean, that's wild. Almost looks like a castle. Almost looks like a castle. Just adjusting that so I can ride around it. Get a little closer. It says structure is unstable. Wow, look at that. Smallpox hospital. Once again, also placed into a historical spot. And now this here, interesting. Wow, look at this. Oh, you can't take the bikes down there? Oh, okay. I'll turn around then. Thank you. So we're not allowed in there with a bike. Interesting. Don't know what that is. Looks like it's an expansion of the island. But that doesn't look very old. I don't know if it was an expansion onto the end of the island or not, but looks like some modern sculptures. See if we can take a little peek from back here. For Freedom State Park. So no bicycle, I didn't even see that. I don't really know what there is to see back there. It just looks like a little section that they made a monument of. So again, we'll focus on the historical stuff, not the modern stuff, because we came here for that, the stuff that's been forgotten. All right, let's head up this side of the island. There's a goose with a baby goose. Don't want to get too close because sometimes they get protective of the young. See if we can cut across, come back around. Unfortunately, it looks like the sky got pretty dark, like it might start to rain. So this once beautiful sunny day just took a turn. Now we'll come through one more time. Come back up this way here. Come up this side. Now that's the Manhattan side. So that would be the southwest side of the island. Wow, these Canadian geese have taken over. I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the name of this island to Goose Island. It's had its name changed quite a bit of times, so it wouldn't be a surprise. So now come to the other entrance of the park. There's a lot of geese here. Wow, I've never seen this many. They really took to this place. You see a lot of the Canadian geese out in Long Island, but I guess now they're in Queens. That's amazing. They're just coming in. Yeah, as you can see, a very gloomy sky. And once we pass the 59th Street Bridge on this end, that'll get us almost back to where we started, and that'll be a complete perimeter of the island. There's the front of the, I believe this is the tram. Maybe it's something else, actually. Looks like a new building. I believe it might be a museum, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think they might have put a museum of some sort here. I don't know. Now, if it's not a museum, some type of really fancy building. Wow, cool breeze off the water right now. Smell that air, that seawater air. I can feel humidity in the air, so now the goal is to make it back home without getting soaked. There was absolutely no rain in the forecast when I left the house this morning, or this afternoon. But it's looking like that's about to change, like it always does. Alright, so that's the tram right there. That wasn't the tram, that was another building back there. This is the tram. We keep pushing forward. Looks like we can cut through from this end. They made a street that's gone through. Oh wow, did you see that lightning? That is something. I hope I caught that on camera, because that was awesome. There's definitely a storm coming in. I can feel how the temperature just dropped. And there's the thunder. So that lightning was huge, if we saw it that big and bright in the daytime. And that just about wraps it up. As we come back around, complete circle, back to the Blackwell House, I believe it was called. That very old house that we took pictures of in video before. Yep. We're coming down this main strip here, where the old church is on the left. There it is, right to my left, that old historical church. And I feel a couple drops, so looks like I'm unlucky. Looks like I'm gonna get wet. And that about wraps up our tour of the historic island, Roosevelt Island. I would say in Queens, but really it's not Queens actually. I say in Queens, but it's, believe it or not, a part of Manhattan. But it lies between Queens and Manhattan. More accessible towards the Queens side, obviously, with the bridge being on the Queens side. And on that note, I really hope that everybody enjoyed the video today for this installment of Historical New York by bike. And if you're ever in the area and you ever get the chance, by all means, check it out. Get down here on your bike, check it out. If there's anything else that you'd like me to add or take a look at this location that I might have missed, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about this in the comments, this video, and as goes with all videos. on that note, as I pedal across the Roosevelt Island Bridge, I want to say have a great day. Enjoy the good weather, well, or the bad weather for that matter. And as always, be safe and take care.